Good evening and welcome here to Perry as we get you ready for this CVC crossover game here between the Hawken Hawks. Hawken coming in at 7-4. They will be the visitor here against your Perry Pirates. Pirates coming in at 8-2 as this tip is won by Hawken, and we are underway here in Perry. Welcome to the broadcast. Gene Winters with you along with the fabulous crew here at Perry as we get you ready for this game. As Hawken starts with the ball, and I believe we have a quick double dribble going against the Hawks. Danny Grozel, the first one to commit that turnover. So it'll be Perry ball. Perry will start. Walter Moses, Braden Richards, Owen Tomazik, Jake Cubison, and Owen McCoon are your starting five for the Pirates. As Braden Richards has it, gets it over to Tomazik. Tomazik, pull-up jumper off the glass and in. Owen is on the board here for the Pirates. Owen coming in, averaging 7.3 points per ball game, coming off a very nice game against Riverside a couple nights ago here in the Perry's big win against the Beavers. And there's going to be a steal by Owen Tomazik. He's going to take it coast to coast off the glass, just off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Walter Moses, a little bit too strong as Dave Dettelbach comes down with it for the Hawks. As this jumper is just off by Taj Caver. Caver just missed that one for the Hawks as Cubison brings it back the other way here for the Pirates. Cubison going up strong. Bodies into Dettelbach, and that's going to remain Pirate basketball as that shot for Cubison just a little bit off the mark. I think he was trying to draw the contact to get to the free throw line, but nothing there. It will remain Pirate ball as the Pirates have the lead 2-0 here as we've played 1 minute of basketball. As Cubison shoots the three, just off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Dettelbach. Dettelbach gets it over to Hill. Hill, a young freshman for the Hawks. As Dominic Johnson now has it, working on Owen McCoon. Finds the open man. Open three, and it's going to get stuck right between the rim and the backboard. That shot by Danny Grozel just off the mark. I shouldn't say off the mark. I mean, it was right at the rim. It got stuck between the rim and the backboard, so it will be Pirate basketball. As Richards gets it over to McCoon. McCoon back to Richards as they get into the forecourt. Richards finds Tomazik here in the corner. Tomazik cross-court pass a little bit too high for Walter Moses, and that will be a turnover by the Pirates. Ball will go back to the Hawks. For the Hawks, it's number 1, Dominic Johnson. Number 2, Taj Caver. Number 10, Deron Hill. Number 12, Danny Grozel. And number 35, David Dettelbach, your starting five for the Hawks. The Hawks coming in at 7-4, coming off a win against Beechwood just a couple of nights ago, 68-61, as the Hawks bring it back out top with Caver. Caver with Tomazik on him. Tries to go to his left, nothing there. Caver looking, still looking. Now gets into the paint, passes it off just a little bit off the mark. The pass almost went to Coach Ice. He didn't have his hands ready, as it is another turnover here by the Hawks. 2-0 your score early on here in the first quarter as Braden Richards beats a little bit of a pressure as Cubison, thought he was still going to continue to go on that play. A little give and go, just a little bit off the mark. So both teams turning the ball over here in the first 2.5 minutes of this ball game as the Hawks looking for their first points of the game. Johnson gets it over to Grozel. And we have a whistle, and we are going to have a foul going, I believe, against Walter Moses. For Moses, that will be his first. Walter Moses, the sophomore, wearing number 11 for the Pirates. So that is the team first. As Johnson, the senior, has it up top, working with Cubison in front of him. Grozel with it. Grozel with Owen McCoon on him. Nice pick there as the ball gets swung back to Hill. Hill had McCoon on him with the switch. As this nice dribble drive, a nice turnaround there. I thought Caver could have had the shot there. Instead, keeps the possession alive, gets it out to Hill. Hill off the mark. Rebound pulled in by Moses. Moses pushing it up to McCoon. McCoon goes to his left hand, bobbles it a little bit and scores. Owen McCoon on the board for the Pirates. We got a quick timeout by head coach Josh Nugent of the Hawks. So real quick here, nice play there by Owen McCoon to get up and in on that one. Owen McCoon averaging 5.4 points per ball game, shooting just under 45% for the Pirates this season. Owen McCoon has played in all 10 games this season for the Pirates. He's coming off a game on Tuesday against Riverside. Scored 2 points, but pulled down 13 massive boards for the Pirates in their win 79-57 over Riverside on Tuesday night. So the Pirates out to a 4-0 lead. Tomazic and Owen McCoon, the two to score here for the Pirates. Hawks still looking for their first basket here of the game. As we mentioned, the Hawks coming in at 7-4 in the CVC Chagrin Conference. The Hawks coming off a win just a couple nights ago against Beechwood, 68-61. Same starting five remain out here for the Pirates. Same thing for the Hawks as Johnson brings this one up. Has Tomazic switched over to him. Goes between the legs, into the paint, nothing there. Bounce pass over to Caver. Caver with Cubison in front of him, nothing there, brings it out top. Finds Grazel, over to Dettelbach. Dettelbach back up top to Hill. Hill puts it on the ground, finds a slashing Dettelbach. It's going to go off his hands and into the hands of Moses. Moses up front to Tomazic. Tomazic back into the middle to Owen McCoon, off his hands, and it's going to be another turnover. Hawks pushing, 3-on-2 break as Grazel goes all the way, and Danny Grazel, he hits his first basket of the ball game, and it's a 4-2 lead by the Pirates. Ball back up top to McCoon. We're here in a fast-moving first quarter here for both teams. As Richards spin move, and I think he traveled, and he did. Just got a little bit too caught up on that. There's nice defense there by Dominic Johnson to keep Richards in front of him. As we have our first substitution of the ball game, as number 30, Gregory Price, a freshman, will check in for the Hawks. As Johnson looks back for the call, brings it into the forecourt. Perry with a little bit of his own defense here. 1-2-2 zone coming here for the Pirates as Walter Moses is the top man. He's waiting. Johnson looking. He finds Caver. Caver for three, off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Hill. Hill tried to go back up, and I think it's going to go against Walter Moses again, unless they give the foul to Owen McCoon, but it will go against number 11, Walter Moses. For Moses, that's now his second in this first 4 minutes of this opening quarter. So already 2 fouls against starter Walter Moses. Moses coming into this game averaging 5.5 points per ball game. He has 2 10-point games as Coach Ice getting ready to make his first substitution of the night as Deron Hill hits his first free throw. Up and good. Tomazic and Moses check out. And checking in for the Pirates will be Jaden Studio. And number 22, Dayton, Washington, will check in for the Pirates as Hill gets ready for his second free throw. Up and rattles out, no good. Rebound pulled in by Studio. Studio gets it up to McCoon. McCoon finds Washington. Washington waits for the rest of the Pirates to get down. Finds Cubison at the top of the key. Cubison now to his left. Gets into the paint. We're going to have a foul going against number 10, Deron Hill. For the Hawks, that will be their first team foul of this opening quarter. So it's Washington, Richards, McCoon, Cubison, and Studio, your 5 on the floor for the Pirates. 4-3 your score. As Cubison, the newest member of the 1,000-point club here in Perry, he kicks it back out to Richards. Richards brings it to the top of the key. Now he goes into the paint, finds Washington. Washington puts it onto the ground to his left. Up and under. Nice pass into Studio. Studio off the glass. A little bit too hard, and the rebound pulled in by Price. That was a nice look there by Washington. Just a little bit too hard on that pass. Off the glass, I should say, on the shot, as Price kicks it out to Caver. Caver back up top to Johnson. Johnson puts it down on the ground. He goes past Richards. Up off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled in by Dettelbach. He goes up strong. Nothing there as 2 Pirates were there on the defense. As Owen McCoon brings it up for the Pirates. 3 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. As Washington thought about a 3 for a moment. Now goes to his left, dribbling back. Finds Braden Richards. He puts up a 3-ball, and it's good. Braden Richards with his first basket of the ball game. Richards shooting 50% from behind the arc this season. He hits on his, and it extends it out to a 4-point lead for the Pirates. As Price thought about a shot there for a moment, now gets it over to Hill. Hill with Washington in front of him. Hill goes to his left, pull-up jumper for the lefty is good. That is a nice play there by the young freshman Hill as Braden Richards comes back the other way, and it's going to be last touch. Must have went off his leg. He tried to split 2 defenders, and the ball went squirting out of bounds. And it will be Hawks basketball. Dettelbach will check back out for the Hawks. Checking in for the first time I can't see the number yet. Got to wait for the young man to turn around as Johnson will bring this one back up. He's met right away by Covison. And it's a little bounce pass over to Hill. Back over to Price. Price with Richards in front of him. Again, goes to his left, spins back to the right. Jumper off the mark, but the offensive rebound's going to stay alive as it goes into the hands of Hill. Back up top to Johnson. Caver, long three. Off the front of the rim, no good, but another offensive rebound as it goes into the hands of Price. Pull-up jumper off the glass and good as Gregory Price gets his first basket of the ball game. That ties the game here at 7 as we're under 2 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. 7-7 your score. The Pirates on the season are averaging 18.3 points in the first quarters this season. So 2 minutes, we'll see what the Pirates have in store as Covison thought about the shot, comes into the two-point range and hits. Jake Covison gets on the board here. Covison averaging 20.5 points per ball game. As this is game number 11 for the Pirates as Price setting up the Hawks offense. Finds an open Johnson. Johnson puts it on the ground underneath and back out. That three ball is good by Price. So back-to-back baskets by Price. He now has 5 of the 10 points for the Hawks. A little bit of a full court pressure coming as Richards gets it back over to the McCoon. Over midcourt, over to Washington. Washington into McCoon. McCoon pull-up jumper from the elbow is good. Owen McCoon with his second basket of the ballgame. And the Pirates back out. This is going to be a back-and-forth first quarter here for both teams. As Owen McCoon plays nice defense. It is almost turned over as Washington had it for a second. Bounce pass underneath as Hill puts it in for the Hawks. For Hill, that's his fourth. As Braden Richards comes the other way, and it's going to be a basket and a foul going against the Hawks. So Braden Richards will get 2 as this foul will go the other way against number 1, Dominic Johnson. For Johnson, that will be his first. For Richards, that will be his second basket of the game. He has 5 of the 11 points here for the Pirates. As Richards puts up the first, I guess they're going to wave off the basket. Maybe the foul came before the basket. So Richards misses his first free throw attempt. He will get another one here as Owen McCoon checks out for the Pirates. Checking in, number 21, Charlie Rockwell, the senior. Pirates in their all white here tonight as Richards puts up the second and rattles that one in and out. Just off the mark, no good. As we're at 51 seconds here to go, it's going to remain Pirate basketball. Richards will check out for the Pirates. Checking in, number 20, Alan Morris will check in for the Pirates. As it's Washington, Rockwell, Covison, Morris, and Studio. Your 5 on the floor for the Pirates. As Covison has it at the top of the key. He's working on Price. Gets into the paint. Finds Morris. Morris with a little bit of a pump fake. Nothing there. Finds Covison. Covison in the corner. He's thinking now a double team. Now he breaks the double team. Puts up a little floater. No good. Rebound pulled in by the Hawks. They're going to start to push. Nope, they're going to slow it down now as Hill will bring it over. And it's going to be a steal by Washington. Washington, 2-on-1. Pulls up. Jumper. No good. He went and played that perfectly, getting the young freshman Deron Hill in the air. So for Hill, that will be his second. For Washington, he will head to the free throw line for the Pirates. Dayton, Washington, averaging 5.9 points per ball game. The senior will have 2 shots coming here for the Pirates as Washington puts up the first, and he hits. Washington on the season, a 57% free throw shooter. 4 of 7 on the season for Washington. As that first free throw went in and good. 12-12 your score. Just under 25 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. As Washington looks to give the Pirates the lead. As Washington puts it up and rattles in and out, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Hawks. Hawks start to push it the other way. Grozzel had it open for a moment. Brings it back out top to Price. Price thinks about it for a minute. Jordan Johnson has checked in, number 5 for the Hawks. The junior is now in the ballgame. As Price working on Morris. Finds Caver. Caver must have stepped on the baseline. There's a nice move there. Nice look to find Caver in the corner. Just must have been a little bit too close to the line. And it will be a turnover by the Hawks. So with 5.4 seconds to go, the Pirates will inbound here. The Hawks play back a little bit as it's into Washington's hands. He gets it up top to Morris. Morris for 3. Rattles it in. Alan Morris hits a 3. And the Pirates will take a 3-point lead as with 5 seconds to go in the opening frame, it was Washington to Morris. Morris rattled it around, hit off the backboard and in. So the Pirates will end this first quarter with a lead of 3, 15-12. We'll take a quick timeout and we'll have second quarter action for you in a moment. Pirates opened the first quarter with a 15-12 lead. Had a number of guys score in that first quarter. Braden Richards had 3. Owen Tomazik with 2. Jake Cubison with 2. Alan Morris with a 3-pointer to give the Pirates the lead at the buzzer. Dayton Washington with 1. And Owen McCoon with 4 for the Pirates. Over on the Hawken side, Deron Hill, the freshman, leads the way with 3. He has 3 points, does not lead the way. Danny Grazel has 2, and leading the way another freshman, number 30, Gregory Price, has 5 of the 12 points for the Hawks. As the second quarter is now underway, as Price met by Richards. Price trying to set up the Hawken offense. Will set up both starting fives here in this second quarter. As Price pull-up jumper is good. Price now with 7 of the 14 points for the Hawks. As Owen McCoon has it up top for the Pirates. It's the original starting 5 for the Pirates on the floor right now. Walter Moses in with 2 fouls. He's going to have to be careful as Richards finds McCoon for the jumper just off the mark. No good. Rebound pulled in by Price. For the Hawks, it's Price, Jordan Johnson, Dettelbach, Grazel, and I'm forgetting one, and I believe it's Hill is the other one out on the floor right now as Johnson tries to penetrate the Perry defense. Nothing there. Price with McCoon on him. Price still looking as the Hawks continue to run their offense, trying to find the open shooter here as Cubison shuts that one off. As Johnson gets it back up top to Price. Price with Owen McCoon in front of him. Price, spin, nothing there. Kicks it out to the 3. Pass over to Price again with McCoon in front of him. Price still working, nothing there. Grazel with it, trying to get past Richards, tried to find a streaking Johnson, nothing there. It's going to be last touch by the Hawks, so it'll be Perry Pirate basketball. There's a nice offensive possession there for the Hawks as they kept moving the ball on the offensive side. Just maybe one pass too many as that one will be turned over as the Pirates bring it back the other way. Owen Tomazik with it up to McCoon. McCoon over to Cubison. Cubison bounce pass into Walter Moses. I think he dribbled it off his foot, and it's going to be a turnover going the other way. Jordan Johnson with it, and it's going to be a steal by Richards. Nice play there by Richards as Johnson tried to get that pass inside. Owen Tomazik puts up a 3, and he hits. Owen Tomazik has been hot as of late. He has 3 straight games of double digits for the Pirates. Right now, he is up to 5 here in this opening half as Gregory Price is willing his way to keep the Hawks into this game. Price again scores as Richards finds a wide open Tomazik for 3 again, just a little bit too strong on that one as the rebound is pulled in by Jordan Johnson. Johnson brings it the other way. Danny Grazel hits a 3 for the Hawks. The senior now with 5 points here in this ballgame as we continue to go back and forth in this ballgame. The Hawks with a 1-point lead as this one goes into Owen Tomazik. Floater in the paint just off the mark, almost pulled down his own offensive rebound. As Drockton pulled that one down, we're going to have a little bump. I think we're going to have a charge. Nice play there by Owen McCoon to take the charge for the Pirates as that foul will go against David Dettelbach. We have 2 substitutions coming in for the Hawks as number 2 will check in. That is Taj Caver. Caver went scoreless in the first quarter. As the Pirates and Braden Richards will bring the ball up here for the Pirates. Richards finally crosses midcourt. Richards finds Owen Tomazik. Tomazik over to McCoon. McCoon at the top of the key. Goes to his left. Nice handoff to Richards. Usually you see it the other direction on the football field. But this time Cubison pulls up for three, a little bit too hard off the mark. Dettelbach pulls down the rebound. He hands it off to Caver. Caver with McCoon in front of him. Caver keeps going. No one's going to stop him. He's going to take it all the way. The floater just off the mark, but it's going to be a foul going against Owen McCoon. For McCoon, that will be his first. And that will send Caver to the free throw line. After this first free throw by Caver, we'll have a substitution coming in for the Hawks. Caver wears number 2, the junior, gets on the board with his first free throw of the night. As number 5, Jordan Johnson, checks out. Number 1, Dominic Johnson, will check in for the Hawks. As the second one for Caver is up and in, extends the Hawks lead to 3. Richards trying to get past, and he does. Blows past, a little stutter step, just off the mark. And it will be a foul going against number 30. That is Gregory Price. For Price, that is his first. That is the team fourth for Hawken. Nice stutter step move there by Richards to get to the basket. Richards has played in all 10 games here for the Pirates this season. He has 10 or more points in 8 of the 10 games, including 2 20-point games this season. As Richards puts up his first and connects. Braden Richards now 1 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. As Richards also has 2 point rebound double-doubles this season. He's also been a very, very strong on the glass for the Pirates. 7 games of 8 or more rebounds this season as he hits both of his free throws there. Up to 5 points for Braden Richards. Coming the other way. Nice steal by Owen Tomczyk. He's going to push the other way. 2-on-2. Tomczyk just keeps going to the hoop. If no one's going to stop him, you just keep going. And Owen Tomczyk goes off the glass. Scores another basket here for the Pirates. Gregory Price the other way. 3-pointer up and no good. Rebound pulled in by Owen Tomczyk. Gets it over to Walter Moses, and we're going to have a foul going against, I believe it's going to be number 12, or we'll see if it's number 2. And it will go against number 2, Taj Caver. For Caver, that will be his first foul of the night, but that's foul number 6 for the Hawks. So one more will be a 1-and-1 situation, and we still have 4 minutes to go here before halftime. As Braden Richards will slow it down now for the Pirates. 22-21 Pirate lead. As Richards finds McCoon up top to Walter Moses. Moses bounce pass into Cubison. Cubison off the glass, leaves it a little bit short. McCoon there for an offensive rebound. Gets it up top to Owen Tomczyk. Tomczyk brings it back the other way. Cubison goes to his left, pull-up jumper, a little bit too strong. Rebound almost pulled in by Dettelbach. It goes off his hands and out of bounds, so it will remain Pirate basketball. So the Pirates keeping this offensive possession alive. So we're halfway through the second quarter. Pirates with a 1-point lead, 22-21 your score. As Richards continues to look, gets it up top to Owen Tomczyk. Tomczyk over to Cubison. Cubison goes to his right. Pump fake. Goes up off glass. Just a little bit too hard. As it goes back into the hands of Cubison. He's going to try it again. This time up and under. And Cubison hits for the Pirates as he goes off glass. And Cubison now extends the Pirate lead out to 3. Johnson, a little bit of a stutter step. Puts on the brakes as this 3-ball was thought about by Caver. Instead pulls up for a better shot and he hits. Taj Caver with his first field goal of the ballgame. He has 4 points here tonight as no one's going to stop Braden Richards. He goes coast to coast and lays that one in for the Pirates as Richards now has 7, and we got a quick timeout coming. I believe it's going to be taken by Coach Nugent and the Hawks. So as we get a quick timeout here, 26-23, we reset the game just for a moment. When you look at what the Pirates have done this season, 8-2 on the season, coming off an impressive win against Riverside as they won 79-57. When you look at the Pirates' schedule so far, they have a game coming up tomorrow, but what they've done so far in their previous 10, they had 3 games that they played in Florida, going 2-1, in the trip to Florida. They started out the season with back-to-back wins on the road against Geneva and Chagrin Falls. Lost here to Richmond Heights, had an impressive win against Edgewood, 82-66. Then an even more impressive win at Harvey, 65-43. Once they came back from their 2-1 Florida trip, they defeated Orange on a night when Jake Cubison joined the 1,000-point club here at Perry. and their last game against Riverside. When you look at Cubison, he has become the 5th member of the 1,000-point club here at Perry on the boys' side, the 14th member overall. And he, of course, joins his brother Nate, Drew Schiano, Jackson Burdishaw, and Mike Patrick are the other ones. Right now, Cubison is 3rd among all boys to ever play here at Perry. The number keeps going up for him as he has already passed Schiano and his brother Nate. So congratulations to Jake 2 games ago, becoming the 5th member of the 5,000-point club here, or excuse me, 1,000-point club here at Perry. As this foul will go against Jake. I guess shouldn't talk him up at all. That leads him to bring in a foul, which will send the Hawks to the free throw line. And heading to the line will be Danny Grazel. Grazel, the senior, wears number 12 in the all-gray jersey for the Hawks. A little bit of light silver and red at the bottom of the shorts as the first one is up and good. That is point number 6 for Danny here tonight. 1 of 4 seniors on the Hawks roster. 2 of them start, Danny being one of them. As the second free throw goes up and good. So 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Grazel. As this one, we'll see where the foul goes, and it's going to go against number 1, Dominic Johnson. For Johnson, that is his second, but a smart move there by Braden Richards. As we talked about, that is now the 7th team foul, so it's going to be a 1-on-1 situation for the Pirates for the remaining just under 3 minutes of this first half. Why not try to split the double team and see if you could pick up a foul? So Dominic Johnson will check out with his 2 fouls, is scoreless here in this first half. Checking in will be number 5, Jordan Johnson, as Richards puts up the first. He hits, so he will get a second opportunity here. As Richards now 3 points from the foul line. He has 8 points overall. As Braden Richards gets ready for the next. Up and just off the mark. As the rebound is going to be kept alive by Owen McCoon. Gets it out to Washington. Washington continuing to go to his left. Nothing there. Brings it back up top to Richards. Richards, a little bit of pump fake into the key. Finds Washington for 3. No good. Off the mark, and it's going to be last touched by number 10, Deron Hill. I thought it went off the. There we go. I thought it went off the foot of Owen McCoon, and I think the official thought otherwise as well. It was close, but it will be Hawken ball coming back the other way as Price, the freshman, bringing it up, met by Richards. Price hands it off to Hill. Hill continues to go across court. 3-point by Caver. Just off the mark, no good. Charlie Rockwell with the rebound. McCoon with it now. Finds Richards. Pirates start to push. Nothing there. Richards going to wait for the rest of his teammates to get here as we have a traveling violation. It did look like it was tipped as Richards started to go up with a shot, but it landed back in his hand, so we're going to have a conversation, I hope, because the ball was tipped and we are going to have a jump ball situation now. So the possession arrow will go to the Pirates. So good call there. Nice correction by the officials. As Richards went up, the ball was tipped. He did lose control of it. And when he came back down, instead of the traveling call, we go with a jump ball, possession arrow to the Pirates. So Walter Moses will get it into Richards. Richards with Johnson in front of him. Finds Walter Moses at the top of the key. Moses that's Cubison to his left. No good. Rebound pulled in by Johnson. Johnson bringing it back the other way. Finds Price. He thought about the 3. Instead, pull-up jumper just off the mark. No good. Into the hands of Washington. Washington, and we're going to have a carry. He crossed himself up on that one, Washington did. He wanted to continue to go to his right last moment, wanted to come back to the left. The ball got a little bit caught in his hand. We've seen worse without a call, but it'll be a turnover here by the Pirates. 2 minutes to go here in this first half. 27-25 Pirates lead in the CVC crossover game. As pull-up by Caver. Just off the mark. Rebound almost pulled in by Rockwell, but it will be lost. Last touch by the Hawks. As it is Morris, Richards, Rockwell, Washington, and Cubison. Your 5 on the floor right now for the Pirates. As Richards working on Johnson. Gets past him. Brings it into the paint. Pump fake. Pass to the 3 ball for Morris. Off the mark, no good. Offensive rebound almost pulled in by Rockwell, and it's going to be last touch by number 1, Jonathan Drockton, the last one to touch it for the Hawks. Will remain with the Pirates. 1:38 to go here in the first half. 2-point lead for Perry as Washington gets it into Cubison. Cubison pull up three, rattles in and out, no good, but Washington gets the offensive rebound. He goes up strong off the glass and in. Dayton Washington with his first field goal of the game. He now has 3 points, and the Pirates back out to a 4-point lead. Johnson thought about a pull-up jumper. Instead, gets it out to Dominic Johnson, Caver, that is. Caver over to Price. Price to Johnson. Johnson back to Price. Price working on Cubison. Finds an open shot for Caver. 3-ball, and he hits. Beautiful pass there by Price to find a wide open Caver. He hits the three, and it's back to a 1-point ball game. 1 minute to go here in the opening half. As Cubison, pull-up jumper at the free throw line, just off the mark, no good. Into the hands of the Hawks. Hawks pushing back the other way. As we almost had a steal by Cubison. Ball going, Caver again, wide open three. Off the mark, no good. Last touch by Jake Cubison, so it will remain Hawkins basketball. The Hawks will remain with it. 41 seconds to go. Charlie Rockwell will check out. Jaden Studio will check in here for the Pirates. As Jordan Johnson, the junior, will be the one to inbound here for the Hawks. He finds Price. Price guarded by Cubison. Price back up top to Caver. Caver with Morris in front of him. Nothing there. Gets it over to Grozel. Grozel back to Johnson. Continuing to move it around the perimeter. Nice play here by the Hawks as that Euro step went off Morris. I don't think they were expecting the pass inside. Morris, I think, was more surprised that the ball hit him in the chest as that one went out of bounds. So 24 seconds to go here as the Pirates hold on to a 1-point lead. Johnson looking to inbound. Nothing there. He's going to have to throw it in or call timeout. And we get a timeout called by head coach Josh Nugent of the Hawks. So as the Hawks take that timeout, down by 1. As you look at the Hawks and what they have done this season, they are coming off a win against Beechwood, 68-61. They have 4 losses on the season. They lost in their second game to NDCL, 60-58. They had a loss at Richmond Heights, so a common opponent between the Pirates and the Hawks. They lost to Richmond Heights 79-30. Their other loss came to Elyria Catholic, and back-to-back games they lost to Elyria Catholic and Gilmore. So those are the 4 losses. But it has been an impressive start for the Hawks as they come in at 7-4, 4-1 within the Chagrin Valley Chagrin Conference. Hawken this year playing as a Division II school. Trailing by 1. They will be back in action tomorrow as they will travel to Villa Angela St. Joe's. That game tomorrow will be a 6 o'clock tip for the Hawks. As Price brings it to the top of the key. Going to set up here as we're under 20 seconds to go. Richards in front of Price. Trying to set up the Hawks offense here. Nice defense here so far by the Pirates. As a little underhand pass goes over to Caver. Caver with Morris in front of him. 5 seconds to go. Caver working. Tries to go to his left. Stumbles. Puts up a prayer. No good. Rebound pulled in by Studio. And that was more of a prayer by Studio to try to take that shot almost 85 feet. But that one will come up short, and the Pirates will hold on to a 29-28 halftime lead. It's been a nice back-and-forth game here for both teams as the Pirates are winning 29-28. When you look at some of the leading scorers here, Braden Richards has 8 points for the Pirates. Owen Tomazik with 7. Jake Cubison with 4. Alan Morris with 3. Dayton Washington with 3. And Owen McCoon with 4. We'll take a quick halftime break, get a little of the cheerleader action here at Perry. We'll also talk with Athletic Director TJ Rockwell when we return.
Become an official sponsor of PNN Sports. Get recognized in all PNN Sports broadcasts this school year. Contact Colleen Moskowitz at 440-339-9452 for more information.
Do you like supporting your high school? If so, this may be your last chance to order this season's Perry Spirit Wear.
Together, we can change the news. Find out how at safekids.org.
If you're like most families, you probably have video game fans in your home. But not every game is right for every kid, which is where the ESRB ratings come in. They help parents make informed decisions for their kids. And there's an easy-to-use mobile app that gives you detailed info on specific game ratings. Video game consoles have parental controls that you can set to block certain games by age rating, so they get all the fun, and you get peace of mind.
Let's be real. There are days when every mom wants to tell her kids to take a hike.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Because when you take us hiking,
Or let us run outside.
and acting silly, you're making our lives healthier and happier.
So next time when Mom wants you to take a hike,
Tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors. Be out there!
Hi, I'm Ice-T. As a veteran, I know that for many former servicemen and women, the battle doesn't always end when they come home. Every day, 184 veterans are diagnosed with post-traumatic stress, and sadly, 20 take their own lives. When nothing else helps, professionally trained service dogs can. American Humane, serving the U.S. military for over 100 years, rescues animals in need of forever homes and trains them to become free, life-saving service dogs for our nation's veterans. If you're a veteran or know a veteran struggling with post-traumatic stress or traumatic brain injury, please go to AmericanHumane.org to learn about their Pups for Patriots program. Let's give our veterans a fighting chance.
You're always trying to keep your kids safe, right? What about preventing concussion? Concussion can happen anywhere, on a sports field, at the park, even at home. So you need to know the ABCs. Assess the situation, be alert for signs and symptoms, and contact a healthcare professional. Most kids recover completely, but seek care to help them get better faster. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. Keep kids safe. It's as simple as ABC.
My mom lived with ovarian cancer for 4 years and through multiple recurrences before we lost her when I was 15 years old. Treatment options were limited then. Between each recurrence, all we could do was retreat with chemotherapy and watch and wait and hope. But now, women with recurrent ovarian cancer have options like maintenance therapies that can delay recurrence. These options mean power in an otherwise powerless situation. Declare, not on my watch. Visit notonmywatch.com.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you your own boat? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you want this in your favorite lake? It. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Burke, an actor who happens to have Down syndrome. Join me in watching some great stories about inspiring people with Down syndrome.
If somebody asks me what Down syndrome is, I tell them it's just an extra chromosome in your body and it just makes learning a little more difficult.
I just hope many people with Down syndrome can follow their dreams and the passion of what they love to do.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I think she has more abilities than I do. Just to emit this incredible love that everybody was drawn to.
I thought his story was amazing. I thought he needed to get out there to inspire other people.
My name is Annie.
I'm a Salem Barlow.
I'm Megan.
Serena.
Elizabeth.
And this is my
Great story.
My great story.
This is my great story. You can watch at ndss.org/stories.
Minds can achieve anything. We make sure they get to college. Federal student aid provides more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds to make college possible for anyone with the mind to get there. Because if given the chance, minds will do great things. Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Back here in Perry as we get ready to open up the second half in this CVC crossover game as the Pirates lead the Hawken Hawks 29-28. First half was a back-and-forth game for both teams. The Hawks shot 42%, 10 of 24, 3 of 10 from behind the arc. They pulled down 5 rebounds, had 4 assists in that opening half. For the Pirates, they shot 38%, 11 of 29, 3 of 9 from behind the arc, 50% from the free throw line. As the Hawks get the scoring going here in the second half as Dettelbach gets on the board now for the Hawks. For Dettelbach, that is his first basket of the ball game. As this pressure, we got to get it over for Moses, and he just did. As this one's going to be stolen away by Price. A little bit of a tangle up between Johnson and Walter Moses. Moses with a save, and it will be Pirate basketball. So a little bit of confusion there. It looked like maybe there was a foul on Walter Moses coming down the court with Johnson as they were tied up going down. But it was a nice save there by Moses, and it will be Pirate basketball as Moses gets it over to Richards, back to Walter Moses. Moses playing with 2 fouls starting here in this third quarter. It's Richards, Moses, Cubison. Couple of pump fakes, goes off the glass and in. Jake Cubison now with 6 points. Owen McCoon and Owen Tomazik will round out the starting 5 for the Pirates. We'll set up the Hawks here in a moment as Grazal gets it over to Johnson. Johnson over to Price. That's Hill. Hill back to Johnson. Johnson thought about the shot in the key. Nothing there. Back up top. I'm missing one of the starters. Dettelbach is the other one to start here in this second half for the Hawks. Is that nice little play by Taj Caver just off the mark. Just left it a little bit too short. Had a nice move into the paint. Nothing there. Cubison with a little bit of contact. He goes off the glass. No good. Saved by Richards. Richards into McCoon. McCoon pull-up jumper just off the mark. No good. Rebound pulled in by David Dettelbach. So this opening minute and a half going the same way the first half went. Back and forth for both teams. As Grazal gets it over to Caver. Caver with Tomazik in front of him. Nice steal there by Richards. Richards brings it down the side, almost a Euro stepped, a little bit too hard off the glass, no good. Gets his own offensive rebound, gets it up to Cubison. Cubison to his right, pull-up jumper. Rattles off the top of the rim and backboard, no good. Dettelbach pulls it down for the Hawks. Pushing back the other way is Caver. Caver going right into the body of McCoon, goes off the glass and in. So Taj Caver now with 9 points here in this ballgame as it's going to be stolen away by Johnson. Johnson Bounce pass into Hill. Hill over to Caver. Caver off the glass and in. Nice little explosion here for the Hawks, as Caver now has 4 here in this second half. Pirates find themselves down by 3. The Hawks doing a nice pressure here. Is that one's going to be blocked? Nope. It's going to be a foul going against David Dettelbach. The junior will pick up his second foul. First one here of the half. And that will send Jake Cubison to the free throw line for the Pirates. Cubison, a 79% free throw shooter for the Pirates. 34 of 43 from the free throw line this season, as Cubison puts up the first and in. Jake Cubison now has 7. Caver checks out. Gregory Price, number 30, will check in for the Hawks, as Cubison puts up the second one and in for the Pirates. Cubison, well, we'll give you more of his stats here in a moment, as Johnson already into the forecourt. Finds Grozel, and it's going to be stolen away by Richards again. Richards coming down off the glass and in. This time Richards able to connect on the steal for Richards. That's now 10 of the 35 points, and the Pirates come back the other way. So quick 4-point swing going back in favor of the Pirates to give them back that 1-point lead, as Johnson gets it up top to Hill. Hill off to his left, nothing there. Finds Price. Price with Owen Tomczyk in front of him. Price still looking. Price over to Grozel. Grozel for 3. Air ball no good. Walter Moses box out, and it's going to be a turnover by the Hawks. So the Pirates will get the ball back here with a 1-point lead, 35-34. As Owen McCoon will be the one to inbound here for the Pirates. As Richards will slowly bring the ball up here. A little bit of a zone look for the Hawks. As Richards gets it on the move, tucks it up and under off the glass, no good. Rebound pulled in by Dettelbach. Dettelbach will bring it up himself. A little bounce pass over to Johnson. Johnson now initiating the Hawks offense. Hands it off to Hill. Hill with Richards in front of him. Continuing to move the ball around the perimeter. Gets it into the corner to Johnson. Back up top to Price. Price with Owen Tomczyk in front of him. Price had a nice opening half forward the Hawks, as Johnson now almost dribbled it off his foot, able to keep it alive. Hill pull-up jumper for the lefty. Just off the mark, no good, but it will be last touched by Walter Moses, and it will remain Hawks basketball. Tomczyk and Moses will check out. Studio and Washington check back in for the Pirates, as Johnson looking here to inbound. Dettelbach with it up top. It's going to be hit away by Studio. Last touch by number 2, and that's going to go off the leg of Taj Caver. Nice play there by Studio. Put a little bit of pressure on it, and it was last touch by Caver, and it will be Pirate basketball. Midway through the third quarter, 35-34 your score. Pirates with the lead. Richards again breaks the pressure, and we're going to have a foul on the floor. I think it's going to go against number 1, Dominic Johnson. For Johnson, that is going to be his 3rd foul here, first of this second half. So the senior might have to check out here, as we have a couple of substitutions coming in, as Dettelbach will check out. Johnson also will check out, but Jordan Johnson will check in. So Washington, the one to inbound here, gets it into McCoon. Back to Washington. Cubison thought about a 3 for a moment. Now pulls up to the foul line, leaves the runner just a little bit short, as it, I think, just hit maybe grazed the front of the rim and out of bounds. So it will be Hawks basketball, as Price, the freshman, 9 points in the opening half, for the Hawks, as Price is met by Owen McCoon. Price with it. Continuing to work it around here on the perimeter, as that was a nice pump fake, and we're going to have a foul going against Studio. Number 1, Jaden Studio, so he'll pick up his first foul of this ball game. Studio averaging just under 4 points per ball game for the Pirates. Drockton was the one working on the Studio for the Hawks, as Johnson gets it up top to Hill. Hill with Cubison in front of him. Hill goes to his left, runner up and in. Nice shot there by Deron Hill. Hill now with 7, and we continue to push back the other way. 36-35, back and forth game we go. Hawks now with a 1-point lead. Owen McCoon picks up his dribble, gets it over to Cubison. Cubison, bounce pass over to Richards. Richards to his left. Euro step up and in. Nice block there by Jonathan Dockton. Drockton with a very nice block. The junior coming over, reading the play from Braden Richards. And it will be Cubison, the one to inbound here for the Pirates. As Cubison gets it into Richards. Richards, again, to his right, finds a wide open Washington. Washington for three. Off the front of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by the Hawks. They start to push. Caver bringing it back the other way, finds Johnson. Johnson now slows it down for Hawken. Gets it back up to Caver. Caver, crossover dribble, just leaves it a little bit short as the rebound comes into Owen McCoon. McCoon, he's going to bring it back himself. He continues into the paint. Pull up. Nope. Gets it back to Washington. Washington finds Studio. Studio with the fake pass. Gets it back to McCoon. Now we get it to Richards. Now the Pirates will now set up their offense as they get ready here as Richards finds Studio. Studio back up top to McCoon. It's going to be stolen away. It's Johnson going back the other way. Johnson bodies into McCoon, and we're going to have a foul going against the Pirates. Nice anticipation and read there by Jordan Johnson, the junior, number 5 for the Hawks. As Owen McCoon will pick up the foul for McCoon. That will be his second, and that will send Jordan Johnson to the line. Johnson played some productive minutes in the first half. Went scoreless in the first half for the Hawks, as the Hawks have a 1-point lead right now. Jordan Johnson puts up the first free throw, up and no good. One thing I noticed here throughout this ballgame, the Hawks have a number of lefties on their team. As Studio now will check out. Checking in is number 3, and that number 3 now will be Malone. Malone in the JV game, which the JV won 57-54, got a little bit of blood on his number 33 jersey, so he will wear number 3 for those of you scoring at home, as Jordan Johnson splits the pair, extends the lead back out to 2. Malone with it, over to Washington. Washington trying to go to his left, pull-up jumper, rattles in and out. Rebound pulled in by Hill. Hawks bringing it back the other way. Caver with it. Caver hands it off to Johnson. Johnson met by Washington. Johnson hands it off to Hill. Hill being checked by Malone. Back up top to Caver. Caver into Johnson. Continuing to work it around the perimeter. Should have just held on to that one as that shot was out of control as 2 Pirates were there. As Washington finds Cubison for 3. Off the mark, no good. Owen McCoon keeps the possession alive as he pulls down the offensive rebound. Spin move, nothing there. Up top to Malone. Malone out to Cubison. Cubison goes to his left. Pitches it back to McCoon, and we're going to have a timeout by Coach Ice. Pirates just look just a tinge out of whack here in this third quarter, as the Hawks have a 37-35 lead. And here in this second half, it has been Taj Caver for the Hawks, as he has 4 points so far in this quarter, now up to 11 in the ball game. Deron Hill has another basket to give him 7, and the other basket by Dettelbach. When you look at the scoring, it was only 4 players to score in the first half for the Hawks, as Caver had 7, Hill with 5, Grazel with 7, and Gregory Price, the freshman, led the way with 9. Over on the Pirates side, they have 2 baskets so far in this, what are we at? About 6 minutes of this third quarter. They have 2 field goals made plus 2 free throws. Braden Richards has the basket. Jake Cubison has a field goal plus 2 free throws. So he has 8 now on the ball game. Braden Richards leads the way with 10. Owen Tomczyk with 7. Morris with 3. Washington with 3. And Owen McCoon with 4 for the Pirates. As the Hawks hold on to a 2-point lead, the Pirates will be back in action tomorrow. It'll be a live stream doubleheader for you, as the girls will kick things off at 2 o'clock as they host Beechwood. Then the boys will play at 6 against Kenston. So if you can't make it out tomorrow night here to Spectator Gymnasium, be sure to check out the live stream starting tomorrow at 2 o'clock, and we'll have a girls and boys doubleheader for you. Girls coming off a loss at Gilmore on Wednesday, so we'll see what they have in store for Beechwood. As we have just about 90 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Pirates with the basketball. Braden Richards setting up the offense with Cubison, McCoon, Malone, and Washington. Your 5 on the floor for the Pirates. As Richards puts up a 3 ball, off the mark, no good. Rebound pulled in by Price, pushing it back the other way. Price, and that was a nice block there. Nice defense there by Jake Cubison as he got back on Jonathan Dockton to knock that one away. So it'll remain Hawks basketball, but that looked like an easy layup coming for Jonathan Dockton, and it was Cubison there to knock that one away. So the Hawks remain with the ball and a 2-point lead here in the third quarter. As Price has it up top. Price, again, the young freshman had a fantastic opening half for the Hawks as they continue to move the ball here around the perimeter. Grazel with it. Back up top to Price. Almost a steal by Covison. Price will pull up jumper, no good. Gets his own offensive rebound between 3 Pirates and puts it back in. Gregory Price now with 11 points for the Hawks, leading the way. Lead back out to 4. Richards up and under Euro step in, and we're going to go with the old-fashioned 3-point play. Nice play there by Braden Richards. The foul will count, and it's going to be a foul going against Taj Caver. For Caver, that will be his second foul. For Richards, that will be his 12th points here of the ball game. Braden Richards averaging 14.4 points per ball game, shooting 50% from the field and from the behind the 3-point arc. As this free throw rattles in and out, so 3 makes from the free throw line for Richards, 3 misses in his 6 attempts so far here in this ball game. So it remains a 2-point lead for the Hawks. 35 seconds to go. Price with it. Price with Covison in front of him. Kicks it out to Caver. Caver has Malone in front of him. Almost turned it over, but it goes into the hands of Grazel. Grazel over to Caver. Caver with McCoon in front of him, working to his left. Hands it off to Price as they continue to milk the clock here. 15 seconds to go. Down to 10. Price with it. Starts to make his move. Screen there, no good. And we're going to have a little bit of a head putt as Washington came in on the defense, as that will be a foul going against Dayton Washington. For Washington, that will be his first. But as both guys were going for the basketball, a little bit of a headbutt situation for the Pirates as they connect heads, and it will be a foul going against the Pirates. So Richards will check out, and checking in will be Owen Tomaszek to check back in for the Pirates. 8 seconds to go. Hawks with a 2-point lead. As this pass goes into Price. Price, nothing there. As that looked like it was blocked by Malone. Unless the foul is on Covison. It looked like a clean block by Malone. And the foul will go against Jake Covison. So for Covison, that will be his second. But a nice defensive play there by the Pirates. As Price went up, he tried to go between 2 Pirate defenders. Looked like Malone had the block, but there must have been a foul down low by Jake Covison. So Price goes to the line. He hits on his first. That's his first free throw attempt of the night. Now with 12 of the 40 points for the Hawks. As Price, the young freshman wearing number 30, puts up the second one and in, extending the Hawks lead back out. 3 seconds to go. Covison with it. Finds Washington. Washington 3 at the buzzer, off the mark. No good. And the Pirates find themselves down 4 entering the fourth quarter. The Hawken Hawks with the lead. We come back for the final 8 minutes here. In a moment, we will hear from Athletic Director TJ Rockwell as we start the fourth quarter. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter, the Pirates find themselves down by 4. Hawken with 41 points through the first. Let me turn it that way. Through the first 3 quarters, Hawken shooting 43%. Pirates in at 31. Both teams have hit on 3 3-point attempts, and it's been the free throw line kind of the difference, as the Hawks are 8 of 10. Pirates 6 of 11 from the free throw line as they open the ball here with the fourth quarter now underway, trailing by 4. And Athletic Director TJ Rockwell joins us as Braden Richards goes up and under and in for the Pirates. So Richards, fantastic second half continues here for the Pirates. And TJ, this has been a back and forth game from the start.
Really has. If you tuned in Tuesday, we really took it to Riverside right off the bat, and we just don't have some of that same energy tonight, which isn't shocking. It's hard to duplicate that in back-to-back nights, and Hawken has a really nice squad. That's a big three by Owen McCoon. Puts us back within one here, 43-42.
Yeah, it was Caver at the other end scoring for the Hawks as Caver gets back into the paint again, nothing there. And as you talked about, that game against Riverside, maybe a little bit of a tone setter, and you always see that maybe, I don't want to say letdown game come in the next one, but maybe it takes you a little bit longer to get going.
Yeah, it's just, you're not going to, I don't know what we shot. Oh, man. Foul on Jake Cubison. But, we shot the ball really well. We defended really well. That was by far our best overall game of the season. And so it's just not going to be duplicated every single time out on the floor tonight. And so, you mentioned our free throws are about 50%. That's way below where we're normally at. Some of the shots just aren't falling. And we need to pick up our defensive intensity a little bit as well. So first night of a back-to-back. We got Kenston coming here tomorrow. So hopefully we can turn things around here. About 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter and get a W.
As Gregory Price, the freshman, hits the first of 2 free throws here for the Hawks. Girls basketball on Wednesday had a tough one over in Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilmore is one of the best girls teams in the area, and Coach Infalvi does a great job. When we put the schedule together, he wants to compete against some of the best teams in Northeast Ohio, and we do that year in, year out. And, I really liked how we hung in that game. We ended up losing by 12 or 13 points, but it was a ball game the entire time. It never was a blowout 20, 30-point game, and rightly probably could have been because that's how good Gilmore is. And I give our girls a ton of credit. They're playing really well. We're going to host Beechwood tomorrow. We'll have that game streamed here at 2 p.m. here from Spectator Gymnasium, followed by the boys game at 3:30. That's freshmen. And then JV at 4:45, and then 6 o'clock. Hopefully the varsity will tip tomorrow against the Bombers of Kenston.
As Jake Cubison heads to the line, obviously we talked about it a little bit earlier, but the newest member of the 1,000 Point Club here at Perry.
Yes, congratulations, Jacob. He very well-deserved honor. Only the 5th player, a boys player in history of our school to have that honor, and so he'll be up on our 1,000-point board here soon enough once his senior year. Hopefully we're not doing that until middle of March, but we'll put his whatever his total up there is, and it's just a great career and doing a great job his senior year leading this team, averaging about 20.5 points a game. So it really does a nice job for us.
And I was looking up a couple weeks ago, or I should say earlier this week, I think that's our 6th 1,000-point member since we started streaming in 2018. Yeah. So I don't know what maybe it's this setup that has started to produce a couple more kids.
I think it's rubbing off on some higher scoring games and some points, because it is crazy how we, if you look up at the board, we started in 1989. Dana Tharp was our first one, and then all the way. Yeah, like 2018, we've had 6, so that's quite a run over the last 4 or 5 years. Braden Richards will probably join the group next year at some point. And I don't know that we have any girls on the horizon at the moment, but we're always looking for the next one. So
as Cubison heads back to the free throw line, other winter sports going on. We have the swim meets coming.
Big Perry Invitational, over 350 swimmers. We'll compete here between our boys and girls swim invitationals tomorrow. Girls start at 9, boys will start at 3. 20-plus schools will be in attendance throughout the day. So always an annual tradition here the second week in January. We go Pin City week 1, first Saturday in January, followed by our big swim invitational the second Saturday of January. So looking forward to that. Best of luck to our swimmers tomorrow.
As Jake Cubison hits both of his free throws, puts Perry back to a 1-point lead as we have just under 6 minutes to go here in this final quarter of basketball as Hawken continues in this back and forth game. Another thing, wrestling going on as well.
Yeah, I mentioned Pin City last week. We had 16 teams here competing, and always a great tournament. If you went into the field house last week, you saw a packed field house. Which is great to have. We obviously couldn't do a lot of that during COVID, so it's great to have everybody back and full bore. Turnover by the Hawks. Let's see if we can get a good possession here and get a bucket. Wrestling is competing they're right in the middle of their toughest stretch of the year. At the end, over break, they competed at the Brecksville Invitational, one of the toughest tournaments in the state for sure, but probably in a 3-state area. And then Pin City, very tough in its own right. And then this week over at Maumee Bay at Oregon Clay High School, again, one of the toughest in the state of Ohio. Really some great competition there. It's going to get us ready for the postseason.
Oh, maybe a travel call?
Oh, he's got.
I must have when I saw one, so it must have been Walter Moses.
Yeah, 11.
So the Pirates it looked like there was going to be a nice play there by McCoon to get in there, but it's still Pirates out to this 1-point lead, 5 minutes to go here in the ball game. And this is what you want, a game like this, a nice crowd again. And this is my first boys game this year, but from the girls games that I've watched and been to, the boys games now, it's been a nice turnout every game here now that the fans are back again.
Yeah, exactly. And our kids do a nice job. Sometimes they get a little too comfy in their seats down there. I'm watching them right here. Big 3 by Hawken. But they come out, and I want to thank our Board of Education, our administration. They allow our kids 9 through 12 get into free for all athletic events, and so it really has increased our student participation at athletic events. It's a great thing for our kids to be able to come here, not have to worry about shelling out $7, which like a movie price like ticket every time they just want to come watch their buddies play. So it's a great program we have, and hopefully we'll keep going here.
As that foul went on Dominic Johnson, his 4th for the Hawks. 1-and-1 situation as Braden Richards hits. He's now 4 of 9 from the free throw line here tonight. One thing that we haven't talked about, since I haven't had a boys game or a game since you guys have come back from Florida, but it was a nice trip for both the boys and girls to get a little winter breakdown in Florida and play some basketball.
It really was something that's unique. We've never done before with a winter sports team, or at least in my time here. Our baseball, softball, and track teams have all traveled south for spring break. And to get some competition in, to get some good weather. And while we got some good weather down in Florida, our idea down there coming together with our boys and our girls team, just go down there and compete, get to look at some different levels of competition, and really do some team bonding and have some fun. And that's what we really accomplished, all of those goals. Both teams went 2-1. That was my biggest fear as the athletic director. We were having nice seasons on both boys and girls side. And if you go down there and you go 0-3, we're stopping the momentum a little bit. And you're like, all right, are we really as good as we think we are? So I was thrilled. Both teams got 2 victories out of the 3 games that they played. The girls really could have won all 3. They lost their first game by only a bucket to a really, really good school from Kentucky.
There you go. Over and back.
And, and the boys ran up against a team from Kentucky called Pulaski County. I don't know what they are now, but they were the 6th ranked team in the entire state of Kentucky. There's only 1 division in Kentucky. There's not like we have 4 divisions in Ohio. There's 1. So they were the 6th best team in the entire state of Kentucky. They were pretty darn good. And but great experience for our kids to compete against that talent level.
That 3-ball rattles out for Richards. Still tie ball game, 48-48 as we're approaching 3 minutes to go here in the ball game. And Walter Moses is going to get another foul here. I believe that's going to be his 4th. So for Moses, he'll be 1 away, but he picked up 2 quickly in the first quarter. So for him to still be here in this ball game is nice to see him defensively. But Gregory Price has been the one for the Hawks here as the freshman will head back to the free throw line. He has been on fire here tonight. He had 9 points in the first half. He is now 6 here in the second, so up to 15 points in this ball game for Hawken as Price puts up the first one up and in, a perfect 5 for 5 from the free throw line.
Well, you'll see here, too, both teams with 17 fouls, so we're going to be shooting one-on-one here for the rest of the game with just over 3 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
As Price connects on both, back to a 2-point lead for the Hawks. As Richards has it up top, a little bit of a zone defense coming here from Hawken. As it's McCoon Cubison who pulls up for the jumper here and hits. So Jake Covison continuing his fantastic play. A perfect 6 for 6 from the free throw line here in this second half. He has 10 points, so he's up to 14 now in the ball game, and it's Braden Richards leading the way with 16. But again, it's another balanced attack for the Pirates as a number of guys up over 5 points here in this ball game. 50-50 the score here. As you mentioned, Kenston coming up tomorrow. How does the rest of the season lay out? CVC play. How are the Pirates looking in that realm?
You know, yeah, we've got we head on the road next week on Tuesday. The boys due to take on Lakeside. The girls will actually host Lakeside the next day on Wednesday. So we're back in that Tuesday, Friday mode now for the boys, and the girls are back to their Wednesday, Saturday deal. So one of those things that we're, about halfway through the season. So this is the grind of the season where, December is sort of a lead up. You play 5, 6, 7, 8 games, but then in January and February, you're playing 13, 14 games and hit into the postseason. Obviously, the goal is always to sort of be peaking at the right time, and that's always, as a coach, that's a very tough thing to figure out. And like we said, when we played really well against Riverside the other day, now you come out tonight, you're just not always going to play at that level. But, I know they're excited about it. We're Division III now for the boys, which will be very unique for us. We don't know any of those teams in that division, sort of like in football what we experienced. Garaway, I didn't even know where that place was. Same thing with some of these basketball schools. Obviously, Lutheran West is in that mix. Very talented team, but we'll see. Yeah, we're excited about what can be.
As 2:45 to go, as Hill pulls up jumper blocked by Braden Richards. It will remain Hawken basketball, but a nice defensive play there. So as you were talking about earlier, just one defensive stop, maybe flip the game here for the Pirates.
Yeah, we'll see if we go back to our man-to-man. Looks like we're playing man out of bounds here. We were playing a little bit of zone earlier, which is unique for Coach Isofano as a disciple of Chad Frazier and Coach Hunt. Anybody who knows those guys know that they played straight up man-to-man, tough all the time, but Pirates are a little zone here to maybe change it up, and it's worked a little bit. We got back to a tie ball game.
As McCoon, a nice pass there by Covison into McCoon, as Owen McCoon now has 9 points in the ball game, 5 coming here in this second half. 2-point lead now for the Pirates as Johnson has it, working on McCoon. Nice defense there by Moses to help as the ball goes out to Price. Price tried to get it inside into Hill, freshman to freshman. He tried to go up strong, but it looked like a jump ball and good. I thought maybe they were going to call a foul there on Braden Richards, but the possession arrow will stay with Hawken. It will be Dominic Johnson here to inbound for the Hawks. It is Johnson, Hill, Price, Caver, and Dettelbach on the floor, the 5 right now, and that foul will go against Washington, and that will send Hill to the free throw line. So for Washington, that will be his second foul. And number 10, Deron Hill, will head to the free throw line. He has 7 points. He had 5 in the first half, 2 so far here in this second.
Another freshman for them, right, Gene?
Yes. Yeah, they have a couple of nice ones. 30 Price has looked very good here tonight as Hill puts up the first one off the back of the rim, no good. Hill now 1 of 3 from the free throw line, and Hill being the other one. I thought Hill did a nice job in the first half getting their offense running, finding Price a couple of times in that first half as Hill puts up the second. Again, leaves it front rim, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Pirates. Under 2 minutes to go, 2-point lead as Richards finds Washington just off the mark, but it will be a foul going against Hawken, and it goes against number 10, Deron Hill. So missed both free throws on the other end, comes back on the other side to send Washington to the free throw line.
And that was a good job by Brady to get the ball up the floor. That's one of the things we like to do, even off of a make. We like to push the ball with these guys. Very athletic, very fast, and we can get the ball down and get an advantage, and that's what happened there. It gives us a 3-point lead with 1:50 to play.
Washington averaging just under 6 points per ball game, a 57% free throw shooter, but is 2 of 3 here tonight as the lead now out to 3 for the Pirates. As Washington puts up the second, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Hill. 3-point ball game, 1:45 to go here in regulation.
Pirates back to that 1-3-1 zone here, trying to change things up a little bit, cause a little havoc.
Caver with it. And we're going to have a timeout taken by Hawken. Josh Nugent will take that timeout for the Hawks. So 3-point ball game. We'll see what the Hawks map up here, but for the Pirates, it will be a defensive stop that they need with just under 1:30 to go here in the ball game. As we talked about, the Hawks will be back in action tomorrow as Hawken will travel to Villa Angela St. Joe's. They have a 6 o'clock game coming up tomorrow. Then they will be in action versus West G on the 17th. For Perry, we talked about already, Kenston tomorrow, which will be streamed along with the girls' game. And then they will head out on the road after that as they will go to Lakeside and West G next Friday. So a couple of crossover games that started for both of these teams, and this, of course, being a crossover game here tonight as the CVC
and the road and the CVC, just like any I think Northeast Ohio basketball, anytime you take to the road, you never know what you're going to get. So, Lakeside and West G next week, we need to make sure we're on top of things and we're focused and ready to go. And we've had a couple of home games here, 3 home games this week. So back on the road here for the boys next week, and the girls will end up hosting a couple next week as well.
For Hawken, it will be Price, it will be Hill, Dettelbach, Dominic Johnson, and Taj Caver, the 5 on the floor for the Hawks. 1:30 to go, 3-point deficit. As Hill has this one tipped away, Richards is going to come up with a steal. Nope, he stepped on the line. It would have been a nice play if he was able to tightrope a little bit. But again, stops the possession. Offense, defensive substitution as Walter Moses comes in. Studio checks out.
Well, and that's where Coach Icefinal changed back to man there. That doesn't surprise me. I think that's a good call. Now we're going to get back to the zone. But out of that timeout, we went man-to-man, and Hawken, I'm sure, probably drew something up for that zone, and we almost got a turnover out of it.
As Caver now has it, maybe back into that zone as Dahlbach goes underneath and in. So David Dettelbach, with his second basket of the ball game. He now has 4, both coming here in this second half. 1 minute to go. Richards with it. Hands it off to McCoon. McCoon up top to Walter Moses. Moses looking, finds Cubison. Cubison brings it into the paint. Floater off the front of the rim, no good. And it's going to be last touch by the Hawks, so it'll remain Pirate basketball. 1-point lead, 53-52. Just under 50 seconds to go. Washington will be the one to inbound. He has Price in front of him. Washington looking. Finds McCoon up top. McCoon over to Moses, back to McCoon. Now to Washington, working it around the perimeter. Pirates give it over to Richards. Probably the right move here. Put it into your point guard's hands as he sets up the offense. Over to McCoon. McCoon with Hill in front of him. Bounce pass to Washington. 30 seconds to go. Leading by 1. Pass into the middle. Broken up, but it gets into the hands of McCoon. McCoon runner off the glass, and we have a charge. Nice defensive play there by the Hawks as Dominic Johnson got it in the way of Owen McCoon. And it's going to be Hawks basketball. 25 seconds, 1-point lead for the Pirates.
I think Coach Icefinal was trying to get a timeout there. Did not get the call in order to get the possession with the Pirates and call a timeout.
Now the student section gets up, and it is starting to get loud in here as the officials are going to have a short conversation. And they are going to make sure that foul went on McCoon. For McCoon, that is his 3rd. He has 9 points in the ball game.
See where the Pirates come out here defensively. As our student section will get up here and hopefully make some noise, but looks like straight up man-to-man here for the Pirates with 22 seconds and running.
Caver with it, gets it into the forecourt, kicks it. It should be Pirate basketball. Nope. I thought he kicked it on his way driving down into the forecourt.
That's why I'm glad I'm not an official, Gene. Yeah. I hit like 3 different shoes. I'm not sure. We'll go with what the officials say. We're going to have to play at least one more round of good, solid man-to-man defense here.
So Josh Nugent takes another timeout for the Hawks.
He's out of timeouts now at this point, so this is it.
Coach Ice meeting with his staff before heading over to set up this defensive play for the Pirates. 1-point ball game. Braden Richards has 16 of the 53. Cubison with 14. McCoon with 9. On the other side, it is Gregory Price, the young freshman, with 17 of the 52 points for Hawken. Also right behind him, Taj Caver with 16. And a couple of players with 7 for the Hawks. Hawken setting up this play. They will have it here on the near side baseline with just about, I believe it was 18 seconds to go here in the ball game. As the Pirates look to move to 9-2 on the season. Hawken looking for their 8th win as they sit right now at 7-4. 17.8 seconds to go. Student section up. We'll see how loud this place gets for the final possession, possible final possession here tonight, as Hawken will look to inbound. For Hawken, it will be David Dettelbach, Taj Caver. The inbounder will be Dominic Johnson, Jerron Hill, and Gregory Price, your 5 on the floor for the Pirates. Washington, McCoon, Richards, Moses, and Cubison. As that one is almost thrown out. Looked like he was right on the line, and we had it stepped out. Taj Caver stepped on the baseline, and it will be Pirate basketball. 13 seconds to go.
Good pressure by the Pirates, obviously denying every pass possible. Great defense, forces a turnover. Take care of the basketball here, get to the foul line.
I thought on the inbound, Dettelbach was out when he initially caught it, but it's going to be a foul going against Price. That will send Cubison to the free throw line. I won't say too much, but this second half has been pretty nice for Cubison from the free throw line.
Good job, I like that. Very nice.
Jake comes in with 14 points. Jake is coming off a 14-point game against Riverside, 31 in the previous game at Orange.
Yeah, that Orange game is where he got his 1,000th point. That's a big foul shot there. Puts the Pirates up 2. He only needed 2 points out at Orange, so we figured it was going to happen pretty early in the game, and he kept us in that game. Again, we didn't have our best start in that game, and he kept us in it, scored 31 big ones. Knocks down the second one, 12.4. No timeouts for Hawken.
10 seconds to go. Caver with it. Puts up a 3. It's going to come up short into the hands of Moses. And we're going to have a timeout with Coach Ice. So Pirates basketball, 3.6 seconds to go with a 3-point lead. So the Pirates will take a timeout. But as you said, TJ, that was a nice defensive play with Richards coming out and getting the initial block on Caver.
Yeah, just a piece of it there. That's all you needed. Very athletic play from behind to get that piece. Walter did a nice job of securing it. Coach Ice with a good timeout call there. Definitely don't want to turn the ball over in your own key with 3 seconds to go. So get to inbound here and hopefully, again, get the ball in, get fouled, knock a couple down, and get out of here and come back tomorrow and see what we can do against the Bombers.
So for Jake Cubison, he had 4 points in the first half, 12 in this second half. A number of those points coming from the free throw line as the Pirates will set up here offensively. All they need is a clean inbound and let the Hawks foul and send them to the line. As TJ mentioned on the last possession for the Hawks, they are out of timeouts. So if for some reason something happens on the free throw line for the Pirates, the Hawks will have to come up with something quickly and go the length of the court. But the Pirates need to inbound the ball cleanly first.
You might get somebody deep here. Hawks playing straight man, aggressive man. See if we get a screen to throw deep here.
Owen McCoon, the 1 to inbound. Walter Moses goes deep. Nothing there. And we have a traveling violation.
Are you kidding me? Have you ever seen that?
I have not. Usually you're warned at the beginning if you can move or not. I don't think he really moved.
I wasn't paying that close attention. I've never seen a travel call like that. So no timeouts for the Hawks.
Now we flip the script. Price to inbound. Caver with it. 2 seconds. Puts up a 3 off the mark. No good. And that's your ball game. As the Pirates hold on here to a 3-point victory as Taj Caver just off the back of the rim. No good. And the Pirates hold on and win it 55-52.
All right, Gene, thanks as always for coming out and doing the games for us. We'll see you again soon.
No problem. Thank you. So that's the final here from Perry. As in this second half, it was Jake Cubison leading the way for the Pirates as he finishes with 16 points, 8 of 8 from the free throw line in this closing half to really secure the lead. But it was a nice back and forth game from the start. What you like to see here on this night from Perry. It was Braden Richards also with 16 for the Pirates. As we talked about, the Pirates will be back in action tomorrow against Kenston. They improved to 9-2. The Hawks fall to 7-5, and they will be in action tomorrow against Villa Angela St. Joe's. For the fantastic crew here at Perry, getting the stream on the air, be sure to check out the girls starting tomorrow at 2, as we will have live stream action for you. So thanks to the crew tonight, as we have a 3-point win for the Pirates, 55-52. Pirates win and improve to 9-2 on the season. Have a good